A Saiyan's tail is something that all Saiyans are born with. Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, Broly, and even Goku all had one. The latter of which, the hero of Dragon Ball, had his permanently removed prior to the events of Dragon Ball Z, and it never actually grew back in the main canon. Despite all of this, the Saiyan tail and Uzuru transformation, as it's called, never really played an integral part of the series after the Saiyan's arrival on Earth, and in truth was all but nearly forgotten in sagas that followed. Gohan is the last known Saiyan in the main canon to have a tail, but what is interesting is that Gohan is only half a Saiyan, which means that some characters later introduced, also half Saiyans, were left out when it came to this particular Saiyan appendage. If you look at the genetic facts, all Saiyan traits are dominant over human genetics. This is proven mostly with Gohan, who had a tail at birth, transformed into an Uzuru twice, and had his tail removed also twice by none other than Piccolo both times. Both of Gohan's transformations happen within just a few episodes of each other in the anime, which is interesting because this would imply that a Saiyan tail, if not removed properly through whatever procedure Goku had done, would grow back in just a matter of a couple of weeks or so. The first time Gohan transformed, it was due to the full moon, which Piccolo then followed up and destroyed. The second time is when an image of the full moon was emitted from Goku's nearby, coincidentally, Saiyan space pod that had activated for some unknown reason and shot out the image. Piccolo, of course, then went ahead and destroyed that as well. When Raditz came to Earth to check up on Goku, he demonstrates the strength of the Saiyan tail by knocking the ever-living crap out of Krillin, sending him right through the wall of the Kame House. Upon realizing that Gohan has a tail, Raditz then notices that his younger brother doesn't in fact actually have his any longer, which then leads Raditz into an explanation of the awesome power that is the Saiyan transformation, which, as we stated earlier, ruins Piccolo's day not once, but twice while training young Gohan. Later down the road in the story, we do not hear about the Saiyan tail or see a Saiyan transformation into a great ape until Vegeta shows up. After a battle between Goku and the infamous Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta realizes the moon has been destroyed and that he would have to make do with Plan B if he wanted to transform into a great ape. Vegeta then goes on to explain that he and the rest of the Saiyan race were always at the mercy of the moons, if any, that surrounded the planets they intended to conquer, and realized this was a severe disadvantage in battle and had to come up with a better way to always have a moon present in order to transform at will. He continues, stating that while the moon merely reflects the light of the sun's rays, the combination of the sun's light and a moon's surface creates something called Blutz waves, the source of the Saiyan transformation and not the moon specifically. Vegeta gathers energy and demonstrates that he can summon up Blutz waves artificially and uses it to transform, which he does while stomping around crushing the remaining Z-Fighters, just before Yajirobe drops in for 2 seconds, removes his tail, and quickly scurries away to safety from the battle. But why is it that Vegeta's tail didn't grow back but Gohan's did twice? And why didn't Gohan's tail ever come back after the second time? When future Trunks shows up and mops the floor with Frieza before turning him into a dozen or so pieces of Super Saiyan sashimi, Trunks is not seen with the tail either, despite having all the other physical and genetic attributes of his Saiyan father. Broly's first appearance in Legendary Super Saiyan shows that he too has a tail, though this was shown only at birth and he is not seen with a tail as an adult. After Broly's defeat, but not demise, Broly shows up again in Broly the Second Coming, without a visible tail, with no reason or explanation. In the movie Bio Broly, a genetic clone of the legendary Super Saiyan is being developed in a test tube, complete with a tail, but the experiment fails and Broly turns into mush and gets defeated by young Goten and Trunks, whom both of which do not have tails either. This bit is also interesting considering that at the time of Goten and Trunks' birth, to the moment they see Broly with a tail, there were no Saiyans alive that had tails, at least not on Earth. However, the two of them seem to both be quite familiar with the Saiyan trait of having a tail. In any case, the two of them power up, take on the mutant Bio Broly, and destroy him with relative ease. So why is it that the Saiyan tails seem to pop in and out of the story and canon with very little explanation after the initial arrival of the Saiyans? There certainly are a lot of theories that float around, some of which suggest that Trunks and Goten had their tails removed at birth, and it was just never stated in the anime or manga. Possibly the same thing was done for Gohan after the second time his tail was removed, though it doesn't explain Vegeta, as the pride of the Prince of all Saiyans would surely keep him from having his tail removed. One would also think the same mindset would have kept his son from having his tail removed as well, though Bulma can surely be convincing in that regard. Regardless of theories or plot holes that seem to be filled by fan speculation, the short answer as to why Saiyan tails and explanations of their absences in the series are erratic is that series creator Akira Toriyama simply forgot they even existed. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, tell me so in the section designated for your comment. If you have anything you'd like to add, be sure to discuss it, and don't forget to subscribe.